no problem.
I have my camera face now, so that like when I press like left,
balancing things, so you have to
in a different direction than left because my camera isn't like facing straight on. So
It's not facing straight on.
yeah, so like what's the right orientation of like X, Y, Z?
Hey Eric,
It shouldn't matter because the code is only taking account for the change in position, and the change in position is the way it's rolling. It might be that like your world's upside down. Wait, no.
No, but the sky is still like
is everything at the origin? Is your plane and sphere starting at the origin 0, 0, 0?
I think so. Yeah, or like 0.
Okay. You got the script like word for word, right? Do you have sphere here? Okay. Is this your script for your sphere?
Were you trying to get color?
It is. Set your camera to -0.21, 7.82, -0.21, 7.82, -8.35, and set the X rotation to 45.
X rotation of what?
45. Can you see your playing field?
Like the corner.
What
should the rotation for Y and Z be?
0?
Oh, yeah, now I can see it.
Okay, cool. Now try it.
Okay, yeah.
It works? Cool. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You see, my cube are stuck.
Okay, so I'm gonna move on since we have very little time left. So now that we made it, we pretty much created the playing field. We made the ball roll, but now we need to implement our pickup objects because the whole point of the game is to pick up objects and pick all of them up to win. And so you can just create like some object. Like I'll create a cube. And I'll create like 2 cubes for this game, so it'll be a pretty easy game to win. So I'll just copy that cube and just put it like right here. But I want to make my cube look cool, so I'm going to change the rotation around. Set that to 45. Set that to 45. There we go. Another thing you can do is change the color of your objects. So you can just go to this component right here, this material component, right here, and just click on the color. Wait. I guess you can't change the color. Hold on. Odd.
I think you might have to just make a new material.
New material.
Yeah. In the file manager window, like the bottom part,
Hmm.
like the center bottom of the screen. Yeah, you can right click and do create material there.
Probably know the difference from yours.
It's weird though that it won't. Okay.
And then just drag it on.
Blue. So yeah, just create a material yourself by right-clicking down here in the assets and just creating material right here. Sorry, it's kind of blurry. And then once you create the material, you can just drag it onto whatever object you want after you've like fiddled with the colors. So I'll do that right now. I'll make this like that, even though I named it blue. So you can just drag that on to the cubes you got here, or you can manually do it by adding a component, but why not just drag and drop?
How do you want color?
Just so create, go down here to create, and then material. So we're creating down here. We're not creating on the left, we're creating down here. We're right clicking, create material, and then just name it, whatever. And then just click on this right here. And you can, like, edit it.
So how did you get the color screen?
You click on the white part of the material. So like once you create the new material, it'll be like right here when you click on it. James.
It's like stuck here. Yeah. Wait, why can't
Okay, so have you guys created your pickup objects?
No. No, you just save yourself.
Yeah.
Are there any additional components that we add to the cube?
You don't have to add anything, but I was gonna show you guys how to add like a spinning animation, which is like one line in a script, so it's pretty easy. So to do that, just add a component, and then add new script, and we can just call this like rotation. We're adding a script component to our pickup objects to make them look cooler. And so, pretty much all you need to add is in update, you want to rotate it. And so to do this, you just rotate the transform. So you do transform dot rotate. So this is the script for our pickup object, and we're just going to make it rotate while the game's running, just to make it look cool. So you do rotate, and then you want to have a new vector, 3, 15, 30, 45, and then you multiply this vector by time dot delta time. So what this is going to do, and you'll see, is just have your object rotate continuously. So does everyone have this in their script for their pickup objects? Transform.rotate, and then inside of the parentheses, new vector 3, 15, 30, 45 times time dot delta time. Okay, does everyone have this? Okay. So when you run it, you can see that it rotates. Yay. Okay. But since this is our pickup object, we want it to, like, disappear when we touch it. And this is somewhat simple. We just need to edit our player script. And we need to add a new method called void on trigger enter. And this is just essentially what's going to happen when our object, the sphere, collides with anything else. And this has a parameter collider other. Or you can name it whatever, but I'll just call it other. And so since we don't want to make everything that touches our sphere disappear, we have to make sure that what we're making disappear has like a certain specification. And a way we can do this is add tags to our pickup objects. So to add a tag, which is like just an indicator thing, is you can click on your pickup object and go up here to where it says tag. Right now it's untagged, but you can click on this and click on add tag, and then just click on this plus right here to add a new one and name it whatever you want. I'm just going to name it pick up. And then once you create that tag, you can go back to the tag component and click on pick up. Okay, thanks. And do this for all of your pickup objects so that all of them are tagged as pick up. They don't have to have the same name, but they have to have the same tag. And once you create the tag once, you don't have to create it again. You can, yeah.
So the tag,
Okay, so did everyone tag their pickup objects? Okay, so now in our on trigger enter, when our sphere collides with something, we're going to check if what we collide with has the tag pickup. And so to do this, we do if other, which is the collider right here, what we're colliding with. If what we collide with, if it has the tag, so compare tag, pick up, then we want it to disappear. And to do this, we simply set its active to false. So this other game object, we're seeing if it has the tag pickup, and we're setting its active to false, which essentially just makes it disappear. But it doesn't remove it from your scene. So you can still like access this later on, but it's just gonna make it like disappear. So if you try to do this, it won't work initially. So like, if you try bumping into it, it won't work. But everyone has that script. Everyone has a script. Okay, so the reason why it won't disappear is because you need to go to your pickup and go to its box collider and click on is trigger. This basically allows for it to, it just allows us to do those sort of methods or functions where if you collide with it, then something happens. So you just need to make sure is trigger is checked, and it should work. Yeah, it disappears. Under box collider, you can think of box collider as like a skin of the object, and if that skin is like penetrated, like if the skin is touched, then like something happens. Yeah.
Do you know why the ball would just go through the cube?
Yeah, that's
What?
what, that's
The
what's
sphere would
happening.
just go like through the cube.
Like the cube isn't disappearing.
It's not disappearing.
Oh wait, I didn't tag it.
Did you tag it?
How could you just go through?
Wait, what?
Okay, guys, we have like 5 minutes left, but I'm gonna try to get through this quickly. Is everyone good? Okay. Does everyone have this script?
Yeah.
So once you have this script, you have to go to the pickup objects and click on is trigger in the box collider component to make it so that that method will work.
I put the wrong tag.
Yeah. And this is in our sphere script, by the way.
Oh wait, logic goes up and down also.
Because you don't have a, it doesn't have a trigger.
It's just called on trigger engine. How do you make them respawn after a certain amount of time?
So we're not going to be covering this today, but if you look into the Unity documentation on timer, you can. This is a method. This is a timer method which you can implement in your player script, and you can say like, no, after a certain amount of time has elapsed, you know, it will set its active to true. Yeah. Or what you could do, which is a somewhat easier way, is have a counter, and in your update you can like add to the counter, but this makes it go up really fast because it's every frame. So yeah, you could do it that way.
It's probably because of the
Oh, that's all nice. Yeah, so
Is everyone good? For the most part? It's okay if you don't have everything, but I just want to make sure I go over like the next part. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start going over the UI because we wanted to have like text displaying like how many we picked up. And so to add a UI component to your game, you simply go to create UI and then simply click on text. And so when you add, it takes a while because it adds a bunch of stuff. So you add when you add a UI object, you add a canvas right here, and then under it a text and an event system. Don't worry about any of these. It's just for UI purposes. But yeah. So we want to have our text on the top left of the screen. And so if you click on your text right here under canvas and you go over here to the rect transform component and you see this weird thing right here, you can click on that. You have to hold down Alt and click on the top left. So you hold down Alt and then click on the top left. And this will make it so that it stays in the top left of the screen when you run it. So Alt and then click on this top left cube. And don't worry about changing the position of the UI. It's just in some arbitrary position in the whole scene. But I'm sure like I'll tell you right now, it will show up correctly on your screen when you run it. If you don't like mess with it. Just delete it and re-add it.
I just moved it. Tried moving
Did you move the UI?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, cool. And so now when you run it, you should see new text in the top left. It's hard to see, but it's there. It's right up there. Sorry, I'm gonna go by this really fast because we're pretty much out of time. But if you don't want it like exactly like on the top left, then you would have to move the position of the text. But be careful not to move like the whole UI canvas because that will screw it up. So you can change that. So, okay, I'm going to try to go through this really fast. So now we want to make it so that it updates, right? So what we can do is we can add a... Okay, sorry. At the top, you need to add using Unity Engine dot... Wait, I forgot the exact thing. But you need to add a library for the text. UnityEngine.ui. So add that at the top using UnityEngine.ui in your player script. And that allows you to get the text. Like be able to change the text. So now we need to have a public text public text variable. We can just call this count text because we want to count the number of things we picked up. You can like drag and drop it later on, but I'm just going to show you the script first. So we have this variable count text, and in the start we can set it to 0. Count text equals 0, and then yeah, so we have that. But we want to change the count every... Sorry. We can change the count every time we pick something up. So in our onTriggerEnter method down here, we can do count equals count plus 1. And So this is basically incrementing the count. But what we should do, and this is a good idea for stylistic purposes, is add another method where we're going to be changing the physical text on the UI. So we can just name this set count text, so we don't have to like continuously like change the text. And since we have our variable count text as our text, we can just set its dot text equal to string count plus count text dot to string. And so this will update the count. But we need to call this method whenever we change the count, right? Because we want to change the physical text. Oh wait, sorry. We need to have another variable count that sorry. So we're not setting count text equal to an integer. Sorry about that. It's count. But count text is what our text will be that's displayed. Sorry for the confusion. Yeah.
Like, how do you know, like, dot text gets you to that? What happens if there's, like, more than one text in this? How does the count text dot text?
So since this is a public variable, you would have to drag and drop. Because, like, we need to declare it somehow. So you would drag this text under canvas to right here, count text, under our script.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Sorry if that was fast. Honestly, this is like not easy stuff. So if you're confused, that's okay. You will learn a lot in your groups if you get in one. That's where I learned all my Unity knowledge. So don't worry if you don't understand any of this. No. Okay, so guys, so that's all, but you can contact me right here. It's hard to see here.
You guys please sign in here
Yeah.
so we know that you came in case you applied.
Right here. You can contact me here. But please sign in here.
Wait, isn't it count text or
Thank you for coming. Sorry if it was a little too fast, but we have to leave the room now. Thank you.
That's the projection.
Yeah.